Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to chapter 8.4.4 Easy Path. The defenders are going to be Red Goblin, Guardian, Sauron with Galan, along with Iron Dome and Nova, and the boss we're going to attempt is Terrax. The nodes are Weapon Adaptive X-Gene, Disarm Striker, Unarmed with Special 1, and if you want to capture the node, that's going to be with a stun. There's also Aggressive and Berserk, and you will need relics for this one with the regular boosts and masteries. It's a really fun path. The champions I would suggest you to bring is the ones that have strong special ones. Any champion with a strong special one will work really well. I am going to mention only the ones that have class advantage over the defenders, but there are plenty of other in the game. I'll just mention a few of them here. The boss is going to be a Terrax with Prey on the Weak, Standstill, has a shift with Shock and Bleed, Sorcerer Striker and Physical Resist. More on him later in the video, so let's jump into the path and check it out. The first fight is going to be against a Red Goblin. I am going to bring in my Absorbing Man. Now you will notice whenever I will try to hit him in a block, he will gain furies, that is with the weapon. So all I need to do is to build up to almost 2 bars of power. In the meanwhile, I have to evade any specials from Red Goblin, and then I use a Striker. The Striker will disarm the weapon, and right away I throw an SP1. Look at that damage. Now remember, when the weapon is disarmed, do not parry or do not stun him, because that is gonna capture the weapon for you. We don't need to do that. We want to keep the weapon only disarmed, not capture, because when it is disarmed, we are doing 600% extra damage on SP1s. So you're just going to use that to our advantage. And once the weapon goes on cooldown, when the red cooldown timer is there, we again build up to almost 2 bars of power, and at the end of it we throw a Striker again and we disarm it, and again we go into SP1s. You will notice that I'm not trying to parry, I'm just holding my block and letting Red Goblin hit in my block and trigger a heavy attack, which I retaliate. We are going to do the same again with Guardian. So we're going to use Venom, we're going to use Parry and Heavy to break the armor first. Once the armor is broken, we're going to build up to almost 2 bars of power, so we can use a Striker right here and then SP1, and look at the damage with the SP1. Unfortunately, I kinda parried him here, so that's why I captured the weapon for myself. So now I'm just gonna play it as a normal fight, and if he hits me in my block, I'm gonna get those furies. That's gonna increase my damage until I have the weapon. And every now and then when the Guardian gets an armor, I'm gonna throw in a heavy attack to break it. Now Venom is great for this one. You can use other champions as well that are available, like Venom Pool will work really well here. Other champions that have easiest access to armor break and SP1 versus Guardian will work great too. So just here I am trying to just throw another SP1, blocked it out again. I have the maximum 30 furies. Now I can go back in and attack. Some good damage on the SP1 with the bleeds, and he is almost down to 20%, and just like that you can take him out. Again, preferably when you disarm the weapon, do not parry, so you can keep the weapon unarmed only, because with parry you capture the weapon for yourself. So here I'm going to use it, disarm him, and I'm going to throw an SP1, and look at that SP1 damage, 68,000. So it's a really fun path, to be honest. Like, it's very easy to deal with as well. Next fight is going to be against a Sauron. We're going to use a Mega Sentinel, and I'm going to do the same, build up to almost 2 bars of power with a Striker ready. If there's a special attack thrown by Sauron, I'm going to navigate through it. And after Striker, look at that SP1 damage, 60,000, 40,000, 40,000, another 20,000. You evade the SP2 and you go back in, throw another SP1, look at the damage. Sauron is already down to 49%. So as long as you don't parry, then you don't try to capture the weapon, you are good. During unarmed phase, your SP1 will do 600% extra damage. And during one cooldown of the weapon, you can throw 2 specials over it. Every defender takes like 2 cycles of disarming, and you can easily kill off the defender. So right here, I'm waiting for him to throw the SP2 out. Just waiting on that. And he's taking his time. Now my striker is ready, and just little on the timing, I missed it out. Here we go. Striker ready, disarm done, and now the SP1 will do great damage. There we go. 60,000 at the end of it. Wait out for another SP2 from defender, and just going in, one more SP1 and he's dead. So yeah, that's how you work out with some good special ones. Keep it unarmed, do not capture the weapon, and this path is really fun, it's really a breeze. Now moving on to the next 3 fights. The first one is going to be a Galan. Now I originally wanted to bring in a Hyperion here, but I forgot to put a relic on him, so I had to go in with Absorbing Man. Hyperion would have been really good with the SP1 spams. Again, the trick is the same. Wait for almost 2 bars of power. Once you have them, then use a striker and you're into your SP1 and look at the damage. So right here, I pushed myself to 2 bars of power, but that's okay because he's going to throw a SP2 here, so I won't get any kind of incinerate on me. So I'm trying to get 1 SP1 out before the weapon is rearmed, and look at that damage. 27,000, 27,000, 82,000. That's just amazing damage. So you just rinse and repeat that. Yeah, and that's about it. You can bring down Galan also quite easily. The whole path is fun like that. And the next fight is going to be in famous Ironman. I'm going to use a Venom again, use a heavy attack and armor break him, and then build up to 2 bars of power, and then throw a striker just before to unarm him, and when he's unarmed, just throw an SP1 for the crazy big damage. So right here, there goes my SP1. None of those hits crit, so that was a little unfortunate, but usually you've seen in the video, they go up to 80,000 everything. So yeah, you just rinse and repeat that. Try not to parry him, because if you parry, you get the weapon on yourself, and that is not as effective as leaving Ironman on unarmed only. So yeah, just rinse and repeat that, and you're able to take him out. Right now the weapon is on cooldown, the red cooldown that you see. That gives me an opportunity to build up to almost 2 bars of power, use the weapon at the end of it. I missed out the timing, so I'm going to throw the SP2 now so I can build it up again. There we go. One more combo, and then I can use my weapon. Yep, and here we go into an SP1. There you go, 37,000. I think Ironman in Famous is resist to crit. That's why I'm not critting much on the SP1. But still, the damage is still good enough so we can slowly take him out. And the final fight before the boss is going to be a Nova. I'm gonna use a Hercules here because Nova has a lot of auto block, so you can use champions that can bypass the auto block for you. So I'm just gonna build up to almost 2 bars of power and have a striker ready with the Hercules. I'm gonna also just try to evade any specials Nova throws in the meanwhile. Now use a striker into an SP1 and look at that damage. 29, 29, 58. He's down to 63%. I'm blocking. I'm not trying to parry because I want to keep the weapon to myself. Another SP1 and he's down to 27%. Evade on the SP2 and just one more SP1 and that should seal the deal. We have a striker ready, good to go. Yeah, and that is how you get Nova down. You can use, if you don't have Hercules, you can use other cosmic champions with armor break or with true strike, like for example Silver Surfer. You can use it in the same way, and with the SP1s you can bring Nova down. The boss is going to be your Terrax with Prey on the Weak, Standing Still, has a Shift, Shock and Bleed, Sorcerer Striker and Physical Resist. Now this, as soon as I see a Terrax, I always bring out my Absorbing Man, more so this time around because the path I've chosen, I've used Absorbing Man there, so that's a natural counter to Terrax. The few things you need to take care about, there's going to be shock and bleed. So if you bring out another champion, you need to have a shock and bleed immunity. So in my case, I would say some good options are going to be Sandman, Emma Frost, even Dust would be great here. You can also use a very high energy resistant bishop. And if you don't have many, you can bring any bleed immune champion and you can use Odin pre-fight and you can play according to that. So that can also work out nicely. So I built up to my SP3 after throwing an SP1 that will give me the crits, and they refined my Uru form and it will help me take down terrors quicker. The ramp up is too good. I keep throwing my medium light medium to get the regen and transfer the armor to Terrax, and we are able to take him down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. I'll be back with 8.4.5 easy path. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll love to help you out. Have a good one. Bye.